Welcome to MBA 634. What I'd like to do in week one, just to kind of get you acclimated. I think you've all been on the Canvas class so far. So thank you for doing that. And again, my goal today is to just get you started for week one. So as you see in the Canvas, starting with the welcome module, which please read it if you have not done it, which I'm sure by now you have. There is some good information in there. What is super important is the self-assessment. It is required, not graded. It is something that's going to help me as I'm progressing through the class. The data I get really is from a macro perspective. So please do this before the class starts. So I would really appreciate that. There is syllabus in there that you can access. Is also available in the syllabus tab over there. There are a couple of books, as you know. I had sent an email to all of you a couple of weeks ago. So you should have it by now. I think there are a couple of people that registered late in order to help out. The only book that you will need in week one, which starts now, is the Corporate Finance, the CFIN and CFIN Fin book. You'll need chapter 2. So what I have done to help out students that registered late and may not have the book in hand yet, that I've copied chapter 2, which is the only chapter you need for week one, and I've added it to the module in the module 1. Case studies, as you can find, you don't need them right now as far as this week is concerned, but you should have them. We've also added a finance definition and glossary PDF. It's good information, I think handy for you to kind of look at it. And also a Excel tutorial. This is something that I had also had a professor added to the our intro class and also in the accounting class. It's the same tutorial that you may have seen it before. Very helpful. I mean, I think you all know Excel, because it is required not only in this class, but especially going forward in the other classes. But there's good information in there if you want to further enhance your Excel acumen. Good tutorial. It's a YouTube format. You can stop, and pause and take notes and so on. Continuing with the assignments, as far as overall, I have in this section over here, I have a list of assignments, again, broken down by individual and the team. This is for the all 8 weeks. And again, there is each one of these things, again, added to each of the week. But here you can see all 8 weeks. Week 1 is all individual. And these are micro learnings, but they're important. Some of you may do it very quickly. Some of you may take some time, depending upon how comfortable you are with some of the foundation of quote-unquote balance sheet income statement that is essential for being a good understanding business and especially understanding finance. All individual. Starting next week, you will have again individual but also team. Overall, the score for this class is a little over 50% is going to be individual. And the reason it's slightly higher content than you may have seen in the other classes is because finance is such a critical knowledge, again, for not only in the real world, but also going forward as you get into the MBA 640, which is the next semester that you will take the class, and then MBA 680, and then finally the capstone. Finance is going to play a role in all those classes, so I want to make sure you all have the opportunity to be able to individually learn and also as a team. One suggestion, and I might repeat myself later on in the semester, and the suggestion is that even if you're working as a team, obviously sometimes what the team does is divide and conquer. One person does this, one person does that. If you are unable to do the whole assignment by yourself, even though you can divide and conquer, you will struggle in the capstone. So my caution to you is that because the capstone is going to be solo, which means you'll be tested individually to know how much you have learned, especially in this class and the classes going forward from 640 and then 680 and 690. So be aware of it as you're working as a team, that it will it'll catch up with you if you have not individually mastered the knowledge. But again, the grade for this class is going to be over 50% individual. So I feel pretty confident that most of you will be able to capture the knowledge that you do need. So now, if I continue with again getting into the module, there's a rubric for online discussion, but a much deeper one in terms of explaining it is in the syllabus. So I would definitely look at that. I know all of you do a good job with the rubric. Every so often I do go back and look at some of the classes that you've taken. As you know, the director of the program, I have access to all the classes, to be able to observe it. But one thing I have noticed sometimes is that some students, when they're applying, they basically are not getting deep into it. And what do I mean by that? The whole idea of a reply is if somebody has taken the time, one of your cohort, have taken the time to come up with their original thread. And by the way, original threads are due by Wednesday night, and that's 50% of the discussion grade. And the other 50% is 2 replies, so 25%, 25%. But the replies is where I see sometimes an opportunity to further enhancing it. Just kind of think about this, right? The whole idea for discussion is to be able to just imagine if you were in a classroom physically and somebody says something. Obviously you're going to say, hey, I agree with you or compliment them. But you have to now add to it. The way I like to describe it is like you have a Lego piece that you wanted to take what you learned from your cohort, but then you add on top of that. So it's a layering effect. You're kind of building over what somebody says. You have to add your content. So somebody kind of takes it from there, it's going to take it to the next level. So please, 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 when you're looking at your replies, make sure they are not just trying to do a check in the box, because otherwise you are not satisfying what the intention is for the discussion thread. I've also added here a video that I actually did it for the first time at the end of the semester. I mean, in the last week of 7th week, about 3 years ago. And what I found, feedback from the students, at the end of the class said it would be a good idea in the future if I can just take this video, even though it is recorded, like you will see, intended to be at the end of the session. They said that would be a good idea for students to kind of see, so they can kind of see how the learning will develop through this series of Jennings case study. This is a case study that I have created myself. It has pieces to it and kind of builds a story, and you will see the learning as you'll progress through it. So it is about 40 minutes or so it is long, but I think it definitely will give you a pretty good feel for what to expect, at least in this class, especially for the Jennings case study. Here just basically is a list of titles of Jennings cases, not a lot of detail. You will get each case, piece by piece every week. So let's get into week 1, right? Week 1 is all individuals, and assignments. And these are what I like to call micro-learning. And how much time it takes for micro-learning is going to be really up to you as far as your knowledge, as far as how much you already know. Some of it is from your accounting class, and but I'm assuming at this stage, as we start the finance, that this week should get us all kind of baseline in terms of what you need to do before we progress, in the week 2 and so on. This one is the week 1 assignment, list assignments. As I showed you for the whole semester, this is week 1, so you can kind of see that these are micro assignments, but it will require some time. So, because in order to get the points, remember 70 points is a lot, because that's, 7% of your grade right there. So you don't want to take it lightly, because once you start to get behind on your grading, it's going to be impossible to catch up. So even though these are micro learning, they're all important in terms of your grading. There is a Jennings part A. Will get you set up for that, and so you want to make sure that you take your time doing all this, and it'll help you not only in this week but also going forward in the next few weeks. I've added a PDF file. Like I said, this is a chapter 2 in case some of you have not received your book yet. I know most of you were aware more than 2 weeks ago what the books are, but there were a couple of students that registered late, so they were not on the email distribution. So in order to help out, I've made a copy of the chapter 2 from the corporate finance, a CFIN book, and added to it that I think you will need it for this week. There's a PowerPoint there, but the more important part is to look at the PDF. There's a discussion thread. Discussion thread is all about kind of getting our mind around the foundation. What is the difference between income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement? What is the depreciation? Why is depreciation non-cash? Those are really, really important foundational knowledge that you do need to be successful, not only in this class, but also going forward. So again, first week, kind of stretching foundation, but super important at this stage, so please kind of keep an eye on that. In order to help, I have created some videos. These are videos I created for a different reason, but I've added it to the class. What what I like to call Demystify Finance Part 1, and the other ones you will see during the semester. And then from there, after you watch it, you will take a quiz. You should take a quiz to be able to see if you have captured the learning from that video. Same thing, another video, and again a short quiz. There's a third quiz, which is right here. Obviously, this little airplane thing is, says that's a quiz. It's a quiz, but you will need the questions from the quiz 1 document. So you will want to print that out when you do this stuff. And this is where you will have to refresh your knowledge about financial statements, and what you're going to find in chapter 2. And then finally, there is an individual assignment case study. It's pretty short, but at least you start to get the feel for it. And again, as I mentioned in the my welcome note, that I will have Zoom classes Tuesday night from 7, depending upon how long we want to spend, depending upon your questions you may have. So these Zoom classes are going to be very helpful. Are they required? No, in terms of if you don't attend, you're not gonna, I'm not grading it. But I think it is important. My feedback I've received consistently, as I've done this for the last 3+ years, that students find it very helpful. It kind of gets their mind into the game for the week, and so I would strongly recommend you attend. The most value you'll get out of it is to make sure that you have watched the other videos that are there. These are short videos, so watch them, look at the assignments. So when you come in, this conversation is going to be more interactive with all of you, and hopefully that is going to help you out. So I wish you great in week 1, and I'll see you, hopefully all of you, on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. through Zoom. The link is in here, so when you go in there, or when you open it, there's a link in there. You can click on it, and the class will start at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Anyways, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.